Hello everybody, it's the Meatbox, and would you look at what day it is? It's Friday, which means it's Ship Kids Day. Now this lovely lady I'm drawing here, this is Mara Yagi, the EraserMight kid. Mara is female. I'd imagine to be kind of the female big three. But looking back on how I've described her, like, personality-wise and design-wise, she's totally like a female Mirio, and I'm sorry. But, oh, I'm so sorry, that was my dog. So I gave her All Might's, like, blonde hair, but I tied it up in a ponytail, because I thought it fit her best. She has more of the, like, kind of like, she's a masculine vibe. She also has All Might's blue eyes, except I dulled them down a bit to be a gray. Like, you know, Aizawa has those gray eyes. Her quirk is Eraser, because she can't exactly inherit All Might's quirk if he didn't have one. And she can't inherit One for All. I mean, yeah, One for All. Because it's not All Might's anymore. Now, having her quirk Eraser, when I do her hero costume, you think it doesn't really fit. Well, she's a very martial arts focused in her attacks. She's a glorified police officer. And it's also that kind of deceitfulness. Her hero name, I don't know what it would be, but it certainly wouldn't be Eraserheads. She'd probably choose a name that was very deceitful to what her quirk is, so villains necessarily wouldn't know unless they were experienced in knowing all their heroes. Personality-wise, I feel like she's a big goof. Like Kaminari goof levels. Very heroic, though, I believe. Kind of like Mirio. But Aizawa seems like he has kind of a chronic fatigue thing going on, so I feel like that might be genetic. I don't know if chronic fatigue's genetic, I'm sorry. You probably should have looked that up. I didn't, I'm so... Anyways, I feel I should have that Aizawa chronic fatigue, like, okay, we just fought that villain. I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a nap. It's like, Mara, but you should train. Nah. Oh, yeah, by the way, she is named after Mara from She-Ra. Because I love She-Ra. And, you know, heroes. Let's see. I feel like she'd get along better with Aizawa than All Might, actually. One of those ironic, like, they're the same person, that's why they fight so much. That they're just fighting themselves, and everything they hate about themselves, they're just fighting back at each other. So it's, you know, she probably wouldn't be, she'd be like a high tier hero just because of that hero clout her dad had. But people would really be like, you know, she's not really the best hero. But like, yeah, that's All Might's daughter. All Might. I want to give her a goal. So let's say her main goal in this series is to help dismantle the Juvenile Villains League. Because she'd be the first person to find out about it and try to dismantle it, find out who's starting it, who did what, and lead the task force against dismantling it illegally because they don't have their hero licenses yet. Actually, she would, but other people might not. Anyways, here we are, moving on to the next one. This is Basuto Bakugo. I gotta be completely honest. I feel like Bakugo's dad's name. I know I based it off something. I can't remember for the life of me. I'm so sorry. I'll put it in the description, I promise, if you're really that curious. Now, he is male. He goes to UA. And he is, as we just mentioned about this little league, he's part of the Juvenile Villains League. I love making characters for the Juvenile Villains League so much. I love it. It's because I drew so many heroes already that I'm like, villain. Now, he has Bakugo's blonde hair, Jiro's eyes, and his quirk is explosive sound. So you know how, like, a voice can break a glass? So pretty much he can plug his little eerie bits into something and it just combusts. And then, like, say he, like, pokes it into a teddy bear. Ooh, that teddy bear is going to be scattered everywhere, you know? Think about what that would do to a person. Now, being in this villain league, his main fear is possibly facing his mother one day, because he doesn't really care. He doesn't like his dad. He just wants. He's one of those edgy, like, I don't like my dad, meh, villains. But, like, he loves his mom and doesn't want to have to fight his mom one day. He's dreading that. Now, his outfit, I kind of color it. He looks like King Dice from Cuphead mixed with, like, Number 5 from Umbrella Academy. So I feel like he'd have some kind of dice shtick, you know? Like, gambling. I like gambling. Dice, dice, dice. Cards. If you watched Bungo Stray Dogs, Ace, like that. If you don't know, he's a gambling guy. He'd be the pyromaniac, but like explosion pyromaniac. I'm not sure if there's a term for that, but if there is, that's what. Just let's say explode random things. Find a pigeon. Wow, that's horrible. I shouldn't laugh at that. Okay. He has a very you feel like looking at him, he'd have maybe a very menacing cackle. I don't know what his laugh would be, but I just find humor in thinking he'd have the worst, unfunny laugh. No, he's got Goofy's laugh. That's it. Goofy from Disney. That that's his laugh right there. Yep. Decided right here, right now. He is a true chaotic nature, which he'd probably be not the red herring. The first, he's too clumsy in being mischievous that Mara is that kid's in the villain league. You can't tell me otherwise. And the teachers are like, nah. That's Bakugo's son. Bakugo's son would become a villain. Jiro's son would become a villain. It's like, well, you see. I kind of just drew him twirling with his little ear things, because in a way, I feel like maybe he'd have a form of ADHD. So he keeps having to do things with his hands. So he'd constantly twirl his little ear stretches, because they can stretch, so he's probably just playing with them in class instead of actually focusing on his I don't want to do math, I want to learn how to use my powers more. I mean, true though, if you're in a hero school, you don't want to learn how to do algebra, you want to learn how to use your powers. Ah, man, it's in Harry Potter how they don't have any math, there's only spell classes. UA should have only hero classes. I'm sorry. No, technically they are hero classes if they're taught by heroes. Does that count? I don't know. So, moving on to our next kiddo. This is Viper Tokiyami. This is the TokoTsuyu kid. She is female. I imagine she'd probably be in maybe class 1B. Now, I know Tokiyami doesn't necessarily have a hair color, but I color her hair black. I'm just gonna say it's Tokiyami's hair color. Also has Toko's eyes. The nice red. I gave her she has Seuss frog characteristics, like that little dip mouth and the long tongue and spits out her stomach and all that jazz. Her quirk is Frog Shadow. Now with Frog Shadow, it's almost a lot like Dark Shadow, but she has more control over it. One of Frog Shadow's most vital things about it is it's a big. So Dark Shadow, it can extend a lot. We've seen it can grow almost endlessly. Well, Frog Shadow can kind of do that, but it has a limit. What doesn't really have a limit is the tongue portion of it. So it's really sticky. I mean, it looks like light. You can just put your arm through it, but there's some weird stickiness to it. No one can understand, and they choose not to, look into it. Except Lola from last episode. If you haven't watched last episode, please go watch. Lovely Lola in the research department would probably be like, I wonder. Now, I'm not really sure. Oh, so her hero name probably would be Viper. I know I don't really mention hero names a lot because I don't really like thinking about it. They're a bit difficult for me to come up with. Because her name is so cool, I love the name Viper, that she'd probably just choose that for her hero name, like how, well, no, Deku's more of a nickname. Ida did in Todoroki. They just chose their normal names for their hero names. So I feel like she'd be like that because her name's cool. I based her hero costume of more of a medieval dress. Like like a pirate gal who kicks butt. Oh, she also has this little frog bracelet she keeps on because I feel like she'd like to accessorize with little like frog dealies. Sue doesn't really give into her frog aesthetic, but I feel like she would like frog anything. She's like, ooh, that's me. Kind of like how people buy stuff with their name on it all the time. You know, you know that person. It's like, oh, this has my name on it. Gonna buy. You know, Tokiyami, he has that like sword in his dorm room. I feel like Viper would collect cool knives. You know those like multicolored rainbow ones? Oh, she's a fan. She's looking for frog knives, you know. One day she'll find one. She loves swimming. I don't know why. I wrote this down in my notes that she'd probably like swimming. Something about her just reeks that she'd be on the UA swim team. Have we seen, does UA have sports teams? I don't see why not. It'd be cool. Give us superhero football or superhero swimming. We got that one swimming episode. So we know they have a pool. Is there a UA swim club? And if so, I'm now saying that Viper is the captain of the UA swim team. I just keep adding leagues to this. We got the League of Juvenile Villains, we got the UA swim team, we got the research department. I'm gonna add to my own UA lore. Personally, I love this ship. I'm not really sure if it's my favorite though. I don't really care who Sue ends up to be honest, it's not really my main thing. I'm pretty neutral on it. A lot of ships I'm neutral with. That I'm okay if that happens. Some of them I hate. I'm sorry, I hate Deku and Ochako together. I know it's gonna happen. I'm not happy about it. Just don't like. So, I probably should have colored Frog Shadow more darker, but it didn't fit. It didn't fit in my head. It's not what I thought it should be. So it's more of a froggy, swampy color. As well as looking back on it, her hero costume reminds me of Sue's medieval fantasy costume a little bit. I know Sue's is like completely different, but you know, slightly inspired. She'd probably be a big Ren Fair fan, like Renaissance fairs. Do they have Renaissance fairs in Japan? I don't know. So anyway, she has a very neutral color palette, I guess. I'm not sure. Earth tones, is that it? Earth tones. Anyways, that's the video. Follow me on Instagram at the Meatbox. I have an Etsy where I sell buttons from all sorts of fandoms. Goodbye!